There you have it. There you have it. The Sixers, they're not messing around. No hesitation. They inform everyone that Brett Brown will be coming back for next season. And I'm just going to say this. I know the Brett Brown haters are pissed off about it, but it's as simple as this, all right? The Sixers have a game plan. They're not messing around. They're not taking a long time. They're making a statement to not just the players on our roster like Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. They're making statements to Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris, and other free agents that this is our guy. We're not double guessing our guy. This is our guy. And that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to come out and not fool around, not play games, not wait, not talk about what other options. No. Brett Brown is our guy. They got their guy. They're making the world know it. And that's fine by me. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Brett Brown is going to win us 30,000 championships. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Brett Brown has zero flaws. I'm not going to tell you that Brett Brown is the best coach in the world. But I will say this. He deserves next year. He deserves a chance next year after losing in Game 7 on a buzzer beater that will be talked about forever in the sport of basketball. That's just reality, okay? We had Brett Brown in the Boston series 2 years ago where things didn't go as planned and he got obnoxiously outcoached. This year, with a better starting five, we go to Toronto in Game 7 and lose on a buzzer beater. Don't give me, we had the best starting five, all right? I hate that argument. There's so much more than that. Sure, we had a good starting five, no doubt about it. The Toronto Raptors are not a bad team, and they're the second seed. How many games did Kawhi Leonard miss? How many back-to-backs did he rest? How many games in general did he rest? If he played those games, you're arguably talking about the first seed in the East. Just because we're good, which we are good, which we were good this year. I can't say are because I don't know what the Sixers have in store for who they're going to sign and who's going to choose to come back and all that, but as of this past season, yes, we were good, but that doesn't mean other teams aren't good either. Superstars win in this league. Kawhi Leonard took the next step in his career, dominated us through 7 games, and there you go. There you have it. They move on. It is what it is. But Brett Brown took steps, and if you didn't see that Brett Brown took steps, then I don't know if you understand basketball fully. Is he a complete project? A complete coach? No. But let me ask you this. Who is? Popovich? Okay, go on. What did Portland do? They struggled throughout some seasons in the postseason and expected to go farther, but they stayed with their coach. Now they're in the Western Conference Finals against the Golden State Warriors. Now, what is the difference between the last couple years and where they are now? I don't know. Maybe their players growing. Maybe their players developing. Maybe the head coach developing through experience. Doesn't happen overnight. I mean, really. It's crazy. I really do believe, listen, I am a diehard Philadelphia sports fan, and I was always informed that this fan base is so smart. This fan base is so smart. They know. They have sports knowledge. Sometimes I question that. Very irrational, very emotional, very what are you doing for me now? I'm sorry, but it's way more than just this season. If you sit there and think Ben Simmons is ready to lead a team to a championship, you're wrong. If you think Joel Embiid is mature enough, you're wrong. He's not in shape. He doesn't take care of his body as much as he should. And that comes with learning and understanding. And I think the pain of Game 7 is going to help him do that too. Every time he's in the gym this offseason, what do you think he's going to think about? That feeling of crying in front of Marc Gasol and leaving the arena. But let's get back to Brett Brown. All right, I love this because let's get right into off-season business. That's pretty much the standpoint here. Elton Brand, Harris, Brett Brown, they're already on the let's talk about the offseason, let's talk about the draft, let's talk about the free agents, let's talk about the guys like Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris and what we're going to do with them. Are we going to offer Tobias a max? Are we going to bring Jimmy Butler back on a max if he chooses to come here? They're already in full throttle mode. And that is something that I love. It comes down to as simple as this. I love the fact that there's no questions. There's no questions. Oh, are we going to bring Brett Brown back? Are they going to interview this coach? Are they going to look at this coach? Are we going to try and bring him in? Is Brett Brown really going to work? Are we just going to, all right, I guess we'll go with Brett Brown because we have no other options? No. We have our guy moving forward. It's as simple as that. We lost a heartbreaker yesterday. Bang. Bang. Brett Brown, come back. Bang. And I guess that report by Mark Stein was completely false. What was the title? Little chance of surviving if he lost Game 7? Journalism these days, you can say whatever you want. You really can. It's crazy. It's crazy. And Woj was the one that tweeted it out there. Woj with the Woj bomb. And one thing that he stated was the support. The support that Brett Brown has is insane. I mean, it is to an elite level of praise from the players. And that can't go unnoticed. I'm sorry, but if Brett Brown had lost the locker room, you would know. You would know. The team loves Brett Brown. And that's very important. Very important. Not every coach can mesh egos. Not at this level. You think it's easy? You think it's easy? The people that say, oh, Brett Brown's so soft. Brett Brown's so soft. Yeah, try being a hardo. How's Thibodeau doing? How much success has Tom Thibodeau been? This isn't college basketball, all right? This is the NBA level. I mean, even look at Brad Stevens. Great X and O guy. I think Brad Stevens is a phenomenal coach. He struggled meshing egos this year. Brett Brown did a A-plus job with that, and it can't go unnoticed. Now, I don't know what's going to be back here next year in regards to Brett Brown, but I think he deserves a full training camp, a full preseason, a full go with a legitimate team from the start. Whether Jimmy, Tobias, whether they're here or not, we're going to have, and I trust Elton Brand, that we're going to have a team that can compete, legitimately compete. So whatever the roster may be, and we're going to look into that coming down the stretch here on what potentially can happen with the Sixers. But as for Brett Brown and whatever the roster is, it's going to be one that can contend and compete. So he deserves a chance. Last year, when we started the season, I mean, I guess technically it's this year, but when we started the past season with Fultz, Dario, Rocco, do you remember that? That's not going into a season with a legit contender. We turned the roster over 4 times. You talk about the last 3 possessions. Do you think any of that would have changed if the team played together for 82 games? I do. I think it might have flowed a little bit more. Guys would have maybe made different moves, would have cut differently, would have set picks differently, would have just had a better feel on maybe a better play even. Just based off of being together, having more experience together. Yeah, absolutely, I do, yes. It's simple that he deserves it, and I know that it's gonna be a tough day for the Brett Brown haters. I already saw so many tweets. I had season tickets for 50 years. I'm totally never going again. Brett Brown's stupid. I'm never watching until Brett Brown's gone. I mean, I listen. If you think the difference of winning an NBA championship this past year that we just lost to the Raptors was Brett Brown, then you really don't know basketball. Because it's clear that it's youth, it's depth of the bench. I mean, really, go look at the difference on when Embiid was on the floor and when he wasn't. You'll throw up. You'll throw up. Depth was a problem. The roster wasn't complete. Best starting 5, you could argue. Not the best chemistry. Not the best depth. That's a problem. If you want to win a championship, if that's your ultimate goal. So all around, yes, I'm happy that Brett Brown is coming back. Once again, am I going to sit here and tell you that he's going to be the coach to win us championships? I don't know that yet. But I do know that he deserves next year. Because he took steps in his career. He took steps as a coach. First year, ugly in the playoffs. And don't give me the tenure thing, how long it's been. I count it back to when he actually had players. There was a time where when someone actually looked good on the Sixers, they'd trade him or sit him or send them down just so we could lose more basketball games. I don't count the first however many years of the process of him coaching. That's not fair. It started when, oh, that's right, we won 50-plus games. And then we responded with another 50-plus win season. And we went to the second round in back-to-back playoffs. That's where I started. So that's how I see it. And I love the fact that he has so much praise from all the players, from a lot of people in the upper management, and it's just clear that he has a leadership factor where people want to play for him. People want to play for him. It's like the Doug Peterson effect. And may I add, didn't we all, not all, didn't a lot of us scream that Doug Peterson wasn't the guy before we won the Super Bowl? Don't lie to yourself. Don't sit here and lie to me. I won't even believe you, I'll be honest with you. First year, Doug Peterson, 7-9. Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Is he really the coach? I remember hearing it all day on sports radio. Every caller. Once again, not me saying that Brett Brown's winning a championship next year. But it's just, what are you doing for me now? And you got to look bigger picture. Because you don't just win a championship overnight. And one last thing here. We talk about how that Game 7 could be so beneficial to someone like Joel Embiid and his future and his growth. Same with Brett Brown. That Game 7 could change around a lot of careers. Not just player-wise, but coaching-wise. You got to feel pain before you feel, the positive side of it. So, let me know your thoughts down below on Brett Brown. This should be very interesting. I'm happy that he's back. It's as simple as that. See you guys next time.